How's it going, everybody? It's your man, the legend, Cesar Maring, here to help you guys get paid on this awesome weekend. Here we are talking about UFC Fight Night. That's right, baby. So today we're going to talk about fights that we think are not going to go the distance. We got fights that we feel are not going to finish, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And boy, is this card chock full of them. If anything, that previous card that we just had was an indication of what we're going to get on this one because it was nothing but finishes. Just a whole bang full of card finishes. So here we go. We got Horiguchi versus Cape. That is the main event. We're going to go ahead and run down this list of 7 fights. That's right. You heard me clearly. Seven. 7 fights that we feel are not going to finish. So we're going to go ahead and just put them up here in the chat as we go along. We'll go through them one by one. But, yep, that's what this is all about. Again, just talk about fights that we feel are not going to finish. And, yeah, that's it. Horiguchi versus Kate. Let's go, bro. There we go. My bad. Horiguchi versus Kate. So, first off on this card, we've got the very first fight, Collins versus Tanzavoli. We got that fight not to finish. That's right, man. I mean, well, look, before we even get into this, let's just finish talking about this Freedom 250, brah. That Freedom 250 card was ridiculous. I want to say it's unprecedented. That was the first time that every single fight card or every fight on the card did not finish. So I'm not saying that's going to happen on this event, but there is going to be a substantial amount of number of people who are going to not finish their cards. It's just going to happen. And I feel like you guys just need to be ready for this. It's a really real possibility. So here we go. Moving in to the very first card, we have 7 fights. The first of those 7 fights that we feel are not going to finish are going to be these newcomers, Tanzavoli and Collins. Now, normally, if it's a new fighter, I'd rather not pick them not to finish, only because, like there's things that be said, hesitations about fighting in the UFC and first fight jitters and stuff like that. So, because of that, and because of the fact that both of these guys are fighters fighting for the first time in UFC, I feel like this is going to be kind of a draw match on that, as far as they neutralize each other's nervous energy. But yeah, so if you're looking at it, these right here are the 7 fights that I have not to finish. All right, those 7 right there. Start off with the first one with Collins versus Tanzioli. Again, I feel like it's not going to finish at all. Both these guys are just, one is a sub expert, one's a TKO expert, and they're both trying to make a name for themselves in the UFC and going ahead and getting that first win. Moving on to this next fight that I feel is not going to finish, we have Shabazian versus Chokiki or however you say his name. Look, one dude is a TKO expert, the second dude is a sub expert, and because of that, I feel like yeah, there's a very strong possibility that neither of them are going to be able to neutralize the other person's abilities, and somebody's going to win. Someone's either going to get choked out, someone's going to get tapped out, someone's going to get knocked out. It's going to happen. I don't envision this fight to finish at all. Moving on, we got Nascimento versus Raposo. Oh man, this one right here. When you see the discrepancy between Nascimento in size versus Raposo, it's almost gut wrenching to think that people are going to just sit here and throw all their money on Raposo. I don't understand why. I don't see the idea in it. I don't see the conceptuality. But you know what? It is what it is. That's how it is sometimes, and that's what the public does. But our job isn't to follow the public. Our job is to follow the money. So we're going to take Nascimento to win by sub. Moving on to Mosquito versus Mullins. This is a number of chick cards on the fight. I want to say there's like 4 lady fights on this card. And this one right here, Mosquito versus Mullins. I do feel that Mosquito is going to go ahead and do what she does. She's going to reach deep into her bag of tricks and go ahead and pull out a submission win. So that's how I feel about Mosquito. Moving on to the next fight, not to finish. We've got Bagdasari versus Magdamedov. Like, man, you already know Homeboy's last name is. Like, it's that easy. and he has two eyes that work. Okay, like this one does work, unlike his counterpart whose eye doesn't work. So yeah, I do feel like Magnomedov is gonna go ahead and put that Dagestani touch on it, and they're gonna get a finish. Now, do I feel like this finish is gonna happen via submission? Absolutely. Do I feel like it's gonna happen via TKO? No. So I'm still gonna take it to finish. Now I'm just gonna warn you. This would not be one that I would traditionally put on the card. Why? Because usually when you have a fight not to finish, you want to make sure that both fighters bring that same type of energy and election of victory with them. What does that mean? That means I don't want a guy who's heavy for decision and another guy who's heavy for finish. Something's going to cancel out. If you got two guys who do nothing but either finish or get finished, no homo, they're going to, it's going to happen. So again, the probability of that happening when you look at those fighters that you're choosing and selecting is a lot higher. So, in the terms of this fight, both of these guys are experts. I do feel like someone's going to come out on top with a win, and that win is going to be via finish. Moving on, we have the next fight that I feel like is not going to finish. We got Nascimento versus Raposo. That's right, Nascimento versus Raposo. Now, I'm gonna just say it like this: Nascimento again is much larger than his opponent, and he's gonna take a sub easily. Like he's gonna grab this dude and he's gonna put him in a pretzel, and that's it. It's a wrap. That's what I feel like is gonna happen. Moving on, we got Mosquito versus Mullins. Now, this Mosquito, I know what you're thinking. Mosquito sounds like mesquite or mosquito, but she is neither of them. I mean, she's durable and she's probably tough as mesquite wood, but again, Mosquito just got it, bro. When you look at the face off and you saw the two fighters and how they saw each other, Mullins had that scared look in her eye. I don't know if it's only because she's pale and pasty, but yeah, she was scared. She seemed a little intimidated, just knowing about the resume of the fighter she's going to be fighting and her quick ability to sub her. Yeah, I know, I know. So moving on, we got Mosquito for the sub. Moving on, we also have Magmedov for the sub, and then we have Sterling and that Cop Horiguchi fight, not to finish. Now, let me talk about Sterling real quick. We talk about Neville Sterling. You've seen the highlight clips, like I've seen the highlight clips. He goes in there and dusts his dudes off, mm, mm, just quickness with the quickness, and waiting for it. And he's so big and he has so much reach and length. That's I think why he went away and to go to boxing and realized the money wasn't there. So then he decided to do something else. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Navajo Sterling on this one, only because of the size difference, experience difference, way younger, way hungrier, and he understands that he's here for a reason. Now I'm not sure if necessarily um, Kudabella thinks that, but I think Aljamain does. So moving on, we got Cop versus Horiguchi for the main event. Now, guys, I don't know. Like this one was really tough to pick because I feel like this is one of my last opportunities to be able to be a fanboy of Horiguchi. Because if Horiguchi um, doesn't take care of business tomorrow and gets messed up by a cop, which a lot of people feel like he might, that's not gonna be good. Not gonna be good at all. For that exact reason is why I took this as the fourth leg. I'm sorry, as the seventh leg in my fights not to finish. That's right. The main event is not going to finish. Expect to see a lot of B-roll tomorrow. Expect to see a lot of people talking to fighters or watching them in the back warming up because he's got to kill time. So those are my bets right there. If you see here that seven legger pays out 10, gets you 279. I get it. That might be a little aggressive for some people. So what I do is also have another one here for you guys. Hold on, give me a second, load that boy up. All right. So if you want something a little bit safer, we do have. I'm sorry, I do have one of these bad boys set up. Come on, Um, yeah, I couldn't see what the odds were for that other one, but yeah, pretty much. If you do what I told you, you're gonna be all right. All right. Until next time, make sure you like and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Yep, we're going over UFC 250 results was last week, so it is our fight night over again, and we've got fights not to finish. So make sure y'all make it happen. All right. Till next time, legend.